Welcome to another episode of War Hero to Superhero, helping military veterans and first responders transform their lives from the bedroom to the boardroom. So you have joined us in our virtual superhero battle room, and we brought in a great guest this week. It's actually our only guest this week because somehow in February, everybody got cold and forgot, but it's okay. So one guest is a great guest, but he's going to be the best guest. So his name is Brian Gibson. He was in the service for over 20 years, and he just went over and took his fight and now brings it to the next level by helping veterans get out of homelessness. We're going to go over and let him share his story, share his mission, and how you can go empower the mission he's on. So we're going to bring Brian in, and we're going to get him all started. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So we'd love to always start with hearing your war hero story. How long were you in the service when you got out, and how was it when you did get out?
Well, I did 26 years, 4 months, and 18 days, but who counts, right? I was a combat medic. Spent the last few years in recruiting duty due to 10 pounds of titanium in my spine from a tour overseas, and had a cold start major that shoved me into recruiting, where basically you can have a dead man profile. Yeah, it was just that. War hero story? Not really, man. I'm just a mud in the muck medic. I did my duty, you know. My job was to save my brothers and sisters on the battlefield. That was my job. Everybody says, "Oh, you're a hero." I'm like, no. I know a lot of heroes, but just like you do, you know a lot of heroes, but most of mine are sitting in Arlington, you know.
Yeah. So how was it after 26 years on getting out of the service? Was it easy? Was it hard? I mean, because going from combat medic and doing all that work and then recovering and then recruiting, and now you were out after 26 years. How was it?
It was tough. It was tough. It was really, 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 really tough. I mean, retired, and you know, when you retire, your pension goes from like this to right? It took the VA a year and a half to determine whether the titanium in my spine was service related. So that, yeah, that was tough.
Very interesting.
Well, that's the battle. Watch out when you retire and you get into that system. But I tell all my friends, all my veterans, look, even if you don't think anything's wrong with you, file a claim. Even if you don't get anything from it, file a claim. That way there you're on the books when you're going to need it. But it was tough. It was tough. You go from being responsible for all these people, all this equipment, all this everything, to what are you? You know? And I had an ongoing problem. Luckily, I want to say my difficulty transitioning was when I don't want to put it down, but when I came to recruiting, I was already self-medicating. Luckily, my command never caught on. Okay. And about 8 years ago, I was to the point where I put a 45 in my mouth. I almost became one of the 22.
Yeah, that's huge.
So,
I mean,
yeah. But again, I lived off that adage: if you ask for help in the military, you're going to ruin your career. So I think that is something the DOD needs to look at, because it's still prevalent out there. I was just down at Fort Campbell Monday talking to a couple Joes, and I can't go get help. I won't get promoted. Okay. You know, the DOD's got to look. There's if somebody needs help, let them get help. It makes them a better soldier to start with.
Totally agree on that. And that's the thing too, is that stigma can still live on, even if the stigma is not there in that particular, that individual that's in that promotion thing might think, oh, I'm not going to promote them because of X. But at least in the Air Force, I can't speak Army, that we don't go deny that in that particular regard. We only, if it's over 12 months and it continues to go on, then it's okay, diagnosable. We're not going to prevent your promotion, but we're going to look at long-term, do we need to medically retire you? So it took 20 years to break that stigma, because it was that way in the 90s. It was like, hey, you have anything? They'd pop them out. So yeah, that's difficult to say to understand. So you got to that point, you had the 45 in your mouth and everything, or at you. What made you not do it? Because I know I met some people that pulled it and it was God's grace that it didn't go off. So what made you go from like, hey, you're there, and just stop it?
Oh, brother, this was God's grace to start with. Okay, I'm a medic. It's in my DNA. I got a phone call from another veteran who was going through some stuff too. So I guess it was the medic in me. You know, hey, what's up, man? What are you doing tomorrow? Nothing. Literally, I had no plans. He invited me down to the old Finkel building in downtown Paducah. It used to be bright red, but over the years it turned pink. And this is where I know God has a sense of humor, because he started a biker church in a pink building.
Very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, but he invited me down because I like motorcycles, I like riding, you know. He invited me down there. They were having this shindig and they were raffling off a Harley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And then the pastor, Dennis Lawrence, great man, right? He actually saw something was wrong with me. And I've been missaying this. I'm saying, hey, you know, he took the time to talk to me. No, he didn't. He took the time to listen. He saw something was wrong, and then he took the time to listen. This is why when I give my briefs and all this stuff to people, I go, when you ask a veteran, how's your day going? I warn them, that's a loaded question.
Yes, massively.
Okay, I said, most of them will just shrug it off, but you know what? You might be that one voice, that one moment in time when that veteran opens up. I said, so don't just throw it up there haphazardly. And if they start talking, don't say, oh, I got to be here. You got to take the time to say, hey, let's sit down and get a cup of coffee. But then you also have to know what to do.
Definitely.
One of the first things we started, and one of the first things we had to cancel due to COVID, was quarterly we would give free classes to anybody who would want to come. It was a suicide prevention class, but not like you're thinking in the DOD where, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This was more pointed towards talking to a veteran. You know, it wasn't that the DOD version. It was, hey, this is how veterans will, because, you know, we don't put all of our stuff on our sleeves all the time. We don't.
Yeah.
So there's other signs that we teach, you know. And I think it's very important that we teach as many people as we can. And then the list of resources, you know, that are out there. So even if you're not a counselor or a therapist or this, you know how to call somebody and say, hey, I got a veteran that needs some help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's not Project Die Hard, it's, you know, there's 240,000 of us out here that are trying to help our brothers and sisters really great.
Wow.
You know, it's the network. Since the beginning, on all of our business cards and literature, we put the Vets for Vets toll-free number, right? Because I call them from time to time just to vent. They are good listeners. They are really good listeners. So, where are we, right? Okay, I get saved. Great. Praise. Always praise.
Mm-hmm.
Go down a few years. I'm going to church. I quit drinking. I quit self-medicating. And then, you know, I'm praying to God, hey, okay, I'm a soldier. You know I need a mission.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
Okay. I was volunteering in my church. I was doing everything, but I wasn't filled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm working, but I just didn't feel it. Then 2018, the wife of one of my best friends' mentor, if they make a modern G.I. Joe doll, this guy's it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He was, when she called me, Doc, what do I do? I mean, she's hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, take a breath. What's wrong? I can't help you if I don't know what's wrong. He's hanging in the garage. That's when I said something had to change.
Mm-hmm.
Something had to change. I appreciate everybody bringing awareness to the veteran suicide problem via push-ups or whatever they do. I understand awareness because that's one of our mandates, to bring public awareness to veteran suicide.
Mm-hmm.
But something more has got to be done once you find that veteran that needs the help. Something more than the 30, 60, or 90-day program.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to Project Die Hard. The goal is simple: to build a safe, secure place where a veteran can come and get healed physically, mentally, and spiritually
Mm-hmm.
for up to a year. That's the goal from onset. Formed in 2018, was going great in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Really, we were going gangbusters. We were starting to get traction. We were starting to get local businesses. We have this Club 22 that we do here in our region.
Mm-hmm.
These are local restaurants that on the 22nd of the month, when you go in and you mention Project Die Hard,
Mm-hmm.
we get a small percentage back.
That
was great, right? Community involvement. They were helping the way they could. Then 2020 hit.
Oh yeah.
We almost had to fold our quote unquote tents because
Mm-hmm.
my pension and stuff, it can't run my house and everything for Project Die Hard. I mean,
Of course.
I've already had to sell my motorcycle for the mission.
Mm-hmm.
I can't mortgage my house anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting to that point, and I called one of my friends who's a pastor, and I said, "Brother, can I come down and get a cup of coffee?"
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Of course you can." I don't know if you've heard of him, Pastor Greg Locke.
No.
Oh, you should look him up. Great man of God. Hard-spoken man of God, but a great man of God. He doesn't sugarcoat nothing, and that's why I like him. I think that's why we get along. But I went down, had a cup of coffee with him, and just I need prayer, brother. I need prayer. He told him the whole, and his church, they passed the hat and they gave a donation that kept us going.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, that was. And this is God's miracle. So he took that little bit that kept us going for another 60 days, right?
Mm.
That led to the Veterans of Foreign Wars picking up our mission and me in their Still Serving campaign.
Mm.
Yeah, we're in one of the VFW magazines. I forget what month, but we're in there. And that led to a local news station here in my region to pick us up and do a story on us. Okay, getting the mission out. That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to the Haven of Love Christian Daycare organization to give me a call. And they said, "Hey, would you mind coming up? And it's only 40 minutes away. Would you come up and explain your mission to us more in detail?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course I will, right? I go up and then I get put around this property, 20 acres, down through the woods, along the stream, taken up through this building that used to be the Christian daycare. It was, and they asked, "Can you use this?"
Wow.
I said, "Well, yeah, we can use it, but there's no way we can afford this."
Mm-hmm.
Because, today's world, right? And he goes, "No. Can you use it?" I said, "Well, of course we can." "Good, we're donating it to you."
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot shocks me anymore. Okay, combat medic, combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the way home, I'm calling my board, and the first 5 minutes is praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God, because this is something for 3 years we've been trying to get. We've been trying to get acreage to build this place, and now God goes, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Take it to the board, and it was like this, and they were all like, yeah. Then one of my board members, he's a great guy, business minded. "Can we afford to do this?" I went, "Nope, we cannot." But in the same thing, I'm not going to take God's blessing that fits perfectly with the mission
Mm-hmm.
and push it to the side. I just won't do it. So, hence, we now have 20 acres and a 3,000 square foot building. It's located in Makanda, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any people may know where that's at. It's not. You go to Carbondale, 8 miles south. It's a beautiful place, quiet. It's in the middle of the Illinois wine country. Yes, Illinois has a wine country.
They have a wine country.
Yeah.
Everybody has a wine country.
Yeah, but it was that. And it is named Forward Operating Base Rush. after Sergeant Courtney Rush, who on January 3rd, 2012, lost the fight to the demons.
Wow.
This is how we're going to name all of our facilities. All of our forward operating bases will be named in honor of a veteran from that state that lost their fight to the demons. It's not to glorify it. It's not to glorify it. Okay, I got to get that straight to people. The war goes on at home. I will not let people forget that the war still goes on, and we still lose our soldiers in that war. So this is the one way I know how to get their name known.
That's really cool. So going on with that, how do, let's go into some tactics real quick, since you pretty much brought the whole story together. How do you go over and serve these people with tactics before we get into more about forward operating base rush, and also how people can connect with you? So what do you give them? What do you empower them when they come to forward operating base rush?
Well, right now we can't, because we just got it, but we'll get into that later. But for every veteran I talk to, the tactics, but first and foremost, is you were trained never to give up. I just reinforce that. Right? Hey, go back to your training, muscle memory. Keep plugging along. Do not give up. I teach them what I have learned about PTSD and the things that works for me. I can't say that it'll work for them, right? But like all day this morning, I've been out in the workshop because we got some news yesterday that kind of hit below the belt, and I was starting to get frustrated, so I spent the day out in the workshop. That's my therapy. Find something that you like to do. It could be turning a wrench. It could be keep your mind busy on something other than trying to fight the demons, because they have no power. And I want to say the third tactic is really faith. It's faith. Okay. Don't ask me why God saved my life. I have no idea. Don't ask me why God put me on this mission. I have no idea. But I have faith that everything I do, glorifying His name, is going to help one of our brother or sisters. That's it. Have faith. We're out here. You know, that's it. Hey, I don't know. I'm not a big public speaker. I'm not that professional. I'll never make money doing this. Trust me.
You thought you never operate a forward operating base rush, so you just never know. So
well, yeah. Look, you never know. When we first started, I met with this foundation because this is a forward operating base. Let me tell you about what Fort Hope is going to be. Take forward operating base rush and times it by like 10. At forward operating base rush, once we get it up and running, we'll be able to house 12 single veterans and 2 veterans with their families. So Fort Hope is the national headquarters, as you want to say, right? We're still raising funds for that property here. That's 114 acres, but that went that way right now because we now have a building and are able to get helping people even faster. Does that answer the tactics, or I don't know what
it does. Everybody's interview is different, so no interview is wrong, no interview is right. It's just your interview. So
Okay.
So we want to get more into Project Die Hard and how people on Facebook, on social media, on YouTube, on Twitch, and other places that we broadcast, how can they go over and help Project Die Hard? I know you told me, but if you can tell our audience how they can help Project Die Hard.
How can you help us? First and foremost, prayer. That's the first thing we ask for. Because without prayer, there's nothing that can happen, right? Second, help spread our mission. I was in a meeting the other day and with a couple other guys that run veteran nonprofits, and we all come to the conclusion we are all one discussion away from getting our nonprofits totally funded. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're that one conversation away. So help spread the mission. How do you do that? We're on Facebook, Project Die Hard 22. We're on Instagram, Project Die Hard. We have a YouTube channel just because we have one, so I could get the name and everything. Mm-hmm. We have no content on it because I'm not a videographer. I'm not that, We're going to get putting content on it when we start working on forward operating base rush. When we get the volunteers there and we start working and we get other veterans there working on building walls and everything there, we'll start getting content on it. But again, that's not my gift.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. Also, you have a fundraising option that people can get involved with.
Oh yes, fundraising, because that's the hardest thing. We can get grants once we get the building up and running. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can get grants for food, clothing. I can get grants for about everything. There's one thing we can't get grants for, and you can ask any grant writer you want, and they'll tell you the same answer my grant writers gave me. There are no grants out there for what they call capital improvements on a property. Mm-hmm. There's no grants. If they are, they're very far between, and they're usually on a 90-10 split. The organization has to raise 90% of the funds and they'll donate 10%.
Yeah, that doesn't work out well typically.
It doesn't work out well typically. But again, that comes to we're sharing our mission. And we launched a campaign on January 1st because buildings and all that require maintenance and utilities, right?
Correct.
We launched a campaign January 1st for 100 people to give $22 a month. That will cover the utilities and the insurance on forward operating base rush. Mm. Okay, now, I don't take a salary. None of my board takes a salary. We lost a $500,000 grant because we do not have paid employees. Mm-hmm. Try to figure that one out. I don't know, but okay, we are all volunteer. That's the whole thing of it. We are all volunteer. So yes, if you go to projectdiehard.org, and it's under how you can help. I don't know if you can do that thing where we're on this side and you share that screen up.
I can get there. I'm just going to do the website real quick. Got that one.
Yep. www.projectdiehard.org. It's under how you can help. Boom.
Let me see. Real quick. I'm going to see if I can pull that up real quick for everybody. All right. I'm going to go to share. I'm going to share screen. Mm-hmm. There we go. 1 second. All right.
There we go.
You guys can go over to see, just go to projectdiehard.org. You should be able to find the website, and you can go to where it hits donate. So,
well, you can hit donate, but hey, scroll down a little bit and see if it does it on your screen too. Oh, there you go. You see that little 2290? We put that in. That's the counter. Yeah, we lose on average 22 veterans a day. That's one every 90 minutes. 20% of all suicides in America are veterans. But it tells all about us. You can go and search our facilities, our mission. Here we are. These are our sponsors. And this is something right there. Stop right there.
Yep.
This is something that I've been striving to all the other veteran service organizations. Together we can do more. So we'll go picking on a soldier's heart. They take veterans hunting and fishing and all the nice little weekend outings. Great people, great cause. The Hugs Project. They send care packages over to our deployed brothers and sisters that don't get mail.
Okay, it's that one right there, yeah.
Yep. Then the next one over is the Veteran Valkyries. They handle strictly women veterans. So I'm happy to have them on board. When we get up and running, they want to hold retreats for just female veterans, right? Great. I told them, hey, you're more than welcome to use our facilities to hold your retreats. Of course, that's for warriors. That's if you need to talk, just talk. And then Operation Tank Full of Love is from my buddy Eric Horner. He actually goes around and gives inspirational music on bases. But he runs this operation once a year where we'll go set up outside a military base, like we've done Fort Campbell a couple times. And we'll give them $10 of gas or $5 of gas, depending what the budget allows. We just call it Tank for Love, and if they want prayer, we'll pray with them. You know, it's just that. But yeah, you can donate, how you can help, volunteer, spread our message. That's pretty easy. And then, you know, we're not asking anybody to cover the $600 to $1 million renovation cost. Although if anybody knows anybody that could do that, we wouldn't be opposed to talking to them. But we do ask people for $22 a month. That's 71 cents a day. In remembrance of the 22 veterans we lose every day. Actually, it's higher than that right now because of COVID, but that's the average. Some will say more, some will say less, but one is too many.
Definitely is. So Brian, I want to thank you for going over and joining us on here, giving us how you came to a transformation from war hero to superhero and how you're helping others in that transformation under projectdiehard.org. Please go over and take the chance as you're watching this. If you can go over and give, even if you can't give $22 a month, any type of giving is appreciated. And again,
we are overly blessed with our patrons, man. We are. The people that support us have gotten us this far. I got one guy, and it tears me up every month I see his donation. Because I know it's not 22, it's $10 a month, right? And every month I want to give it back to him, and he keeps saying no. Because he's a fellow veteran, and he's not hurting, but I know he could use that somewhere else. He goes, no, me and the wife have decided we're going to do what we can, and here's our $10 a month. But that's the key. You know, whether it's $10, 22, or 22,000. Every one of our patrons has the same right. You get to come to any of our facilities and see where your money's going. Our contact info is all that. If you want a copy of our financials, hit our accountant. He has the orders to release it to anybody you ask. Okay? We ain't got nothing to hide here. But, yeah. So I'm sorry if I cut you off, but I had to throw that in. You know, it's just, our patrons are dear to my heart.
Yep, and you can get an opportunity to go over and do that. There's 64 spots still available. We'd love to go over and close that out in the next, as soon as possible, of course. I know it's going to be 63 after this show. I know for myself and as a War Hero Superhero, we're going to go over and do that. Not just because we're airing this show live, it's just because we know that veteran suicide is huge. And as we're helping you guys transform your lives, we need to get your lives planted in to go over and to get to that point of transformation. So we want to thank you, Brian, for going over and joining. The guests that went over and were watching, please go over and like and share this, not just because of our brand War Hero Superhero, but to get the message out there that we need to rewrite the script for veterans and to go over and to help us to go over and to transform from war hero to superhero so we can retake this nation, to continue to go over and to serve and to bring that legacy forward. So, Brian, any last words before we close out?
Just last words is thank you, brother, for helping spread the mission. And, you know, together we're gonna win this war. I know you're gonna retire here soon. I'm just gonna put this out. If you ever get into a mindset where you don't know where you're going because that uniform's off, you got my number, give me a call. I'll be glad to sit and have a cup of coffee with you and just shoot the you know what. But that's the first thing that we got to do, man, is work together and call on one another when we need it.
Correct. Yeah, to go over and complete missions, not compete with missions. So
yes. But
awesome.
Yeah. Again, thank you for having me. What do I got next? Oh wait, I keep dinner next. Oh wait, it's already past your dinner time, right?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about dinner. That's a whole nother story. So
all right, brother. Thank you. And again, projectihard.org. We only need 64 more people. Oh wait, did we talk about why we need those 64 like now? About that thing we talked about yesterday?
About the utilities and
yeah, here we go. Okay, look, this is why we really need your help. We got hit in the gut yesterday. Apparently, the propane company that serviced the property was still under the agreement that they just came out and automatically filled the 500-gallon propane tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a bill that kind of hit us hard. But the mission goes on. But this is why we need those 64 more people to give that $22 a month, man. All right, y'all have a blessed day, and I'll let you do the fade out because I just leave studio and then you're sitting with the blank screen going, what did he do?
Yes, I can do it. Thank you, Brian, for going over and joining us, and I'll close it out. Thank you. So you have it. We have Brian Gibson from War Hero to Superhero going over and transform his life from a 45 Magnum in his mouth to going over and helping others not only just taking the gun out of their mouths, is to go over and to empower them to have another mission and into their lives. So if you feel called to go over and to donate, you can go over and do that. You can easily go to the website right here, Project Die Hard, to go over and to check that out. Go check out their financials, go check out their donate button, go check on how they're doing. Brian is very transparent and very vulnerable. He will give you his sleeve, he will give you his shirt off the back, but most importantly, he's doing that to go over and to serve others. So if you are ready, you can go to that website and go check that out. Here's the full-size screen if you need to go over and see that right there. And again, I want to thank you for going over and joining. Please go over and like and share this. The way we go over and grow and get the message out there is to go over and to like and to share. And send those loves out. If you've ever been on Facebook and you're ever wondering on how to go over and grow your brand and you want to support people and you don't have the funds, go over and love their comments and love their pages. When you go over and do that, the Facebook algorithm works better to go over and to get it out to more people. So if you definitely can't do the 22, go to Project Die Hard and go and love their page and love their content, and especially in any realm that you're going over and supporting people. So we want to thank you again for War Hero to Superhero and the Superhero Battle Room with Brian Gibson. We'll close out this episode, and you'll be seeing Brian soon on our digital TV show because he has the most views because there was one guest. So that is a nice pro. And if you want to get your message out there, we do interviews every single month. So please get back with us and direct message us. So again, this is Daniel Faust closing on another episode of War Hero Superhero, helping military, veterans, and first responders transform their lives from the bedroom to the boardroom and beyond. So thank you all for joining, and we're going to close this out. Again, love to hear you.